Hey there guys, thank you for tuning in. This is Alex from Hero Hustle with a following hero review. This time is Jagger or Jaeger. I don't know how you pronounce that hero, but before I start explaining my my experience with that hero, let me disarm him so you look how he looks like at 25th level in the middle of third month. I played multiple games with Jagger intentionally because I was curious, and as a kid I never played that hero. I was afraid of him being extremely worthless, but in the past few months I really enjoyed trying things out with Jagger, and most of the games I lost. If you're new to the channel, you don't know, but I prefer more hybrid heroes and more might heroes, not that magic heroes. And Jagger is a very magic hero. By the way, he starts with 0032 I think stats here. I don't clearly remember if it's 2 3 or 3 2, but it's more likely 3 power, 2 knowledge. So yeah, as a magician, you may rely on him learning more magical secondary skills, of course. But what's funny and maybe disturbing for those of you who never played Jagger, he does not pick attack and defense oftenly. By the way, I even have a screenshot of him being around level 10, I guess, or something, and I still had 0 attack or 0 defense. If I find this post on Reddit, I will share it here on the screen. But however, it was like it felt like he will never raise any attack or defense, which is extremely concerning and even scary. Imagine you're handling a main hero that cannot fight. Okay, magic is good, but you have units here that fight. So you definitely need at least some attack and defense. You cannot rely only on the artifacts. However, aside from all magicians, this is more magician of the rest, if I can say that. One of those that they really hate, I would say hate, raising attack and defense. And for new players, this might be a problem. So you have a better, you have to be careful with that. But aside from this, as a magician, he is just amazing. And especially with the dungeon, with the dungeon town here, you have this mana vortex that could double your mana. So take a look how it looks like with knowledge 19. This mana is almost, it cannot be dried. You cannot end this mana. You cannot use all the mana points in a single battle. I don't know, of course you could, but in a default template which I'm playing against my opponent in PvP, you literally have endless mana points. But the fun part with Jagger is starting the game. He does not start with magic arrow, that would be too much, but I think he starts with stone skin or shield. Sorry, I don't remember, but probably shield. So he starts with his specialty, Mysticism. Take a look at what it does at level 25. Just amazing. 67% spell points per day. That's huge. And from the very beginning, you get at least 5 mana back each day. So literally you could build your mage guild, take magic arrow, and just start casting every single day, every single battle, because your hero will regain most of the mana, or at least 5 mana points per day, which makes it very, very useful in clearing the early map here. By the way, I will add some of my battles with Jagger. I will link them down in the description if you're interested. But the funny part is that no matter most of the games I lost, those I won, were devastating for my opponent, because I was able easily to snowball my army and my power at all with that hero, thanks to his mana regeneration, because I started with some harpies and some evil eyes, and I cleared a lot of map easily. And the good part with the current game, this is not the game I'm speaking right now, it was another one, but the good part was that I was able to get another magician as a scouting hero. So I had two very powerful magic heroes clearing the map, and I cleared a lot of map. I got all the nice objectives, so I was way ahead my opponent. He was with a might hero. I don't remember what was exactly, but let's say that at month 2 or something, I had pretty significant army and very nice spells. The most powerful was back in the day was Implosion, that reached up to 4,000 damage in our last battle, and my opponent couldn't find interference secondary skill. He only had a few artifacts, you know them, that remove 10% of the opponent's power points or spell power. However, getting such an implosion within your book is enormously powerful, and thanks to the snowballing I created from day one, I crushed my opponent like he was nothing. And I did that with half of his attack and defense points. However, I had around 35 power, and yeah, it was stunning. It was stunning to see how a might hero is not able to move, and he was dead by such a strong magician. However, it was not easy to achieve that, but playing Jagger was quite funny. I told you, I don't remember if I told you, but however, as a kid, I was avoiding that hero because I thought it's pure supportive one. Yeah, I'm not claiming that he's strong and recommended main hero, but it's fun to play. Yeah, it is fun to play. And by the way, he's already one of my preferable warlocks from the dungeon. I know many of you love Deemer, but Deemer is boring. You know, I played so many times with Deemer, with his meteor shower. Alright, I get it. But Jagger is my favorite warlock so far. Yeah, Alamar is good with his resurrection, but Jagger is fun to play with this mysticism. Next hero to explore is Malekith. Do you remember? This is the Minotaur with sorcery specialty. Yeah, this is my next warlock to explore. By the way, I don't like magic heroes that much, but recently I'm interested in learning how to play with them. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun because early game is way more easier than most of the might heroes and even most of the hybrid heroes, because you rely on your spells, which usually are more powerful than units. All right, this is my experience with Jagger. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please let me know in the comments. If you didn't like it, please comment as well, not just clicking the unlike button. Let's talk, let's communicate, because let me tell you, since I started this game, I learned so many about the game that I didn't learn for the last 20 plus years, but from you guys watching, playing, sharing your experience. I'm not a professional. I just try to optimize the game as much as possible and to destroy my opponent, and yeah, striving to get better and better each game. By the way, we only play default templates, not Jupus Cross, not Jupus whatever it is, just a conservative, old school, old-fashioned player versus player game with a few changes in the rules, which you can read down in the description. They're not that interesting for most of you, but if just, you know, out of curiosity, you may read them. One more time, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.